Hello to Mike's Daily Podcast, FF episode 2168. That's right.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
2168. I'm Mike Matthews. That is lovely lady friend joining again. Mike's Daily Podcast. There's this little song at the beginning of the show, and then we sing along, and my lovely lady friend and I watched something about Frank Sinatra, and it was a lot of songs. It wasn't long. Well, it is long. It's 2 episodes. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It says a lot about the music industry in America, how it all came to be.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And people's taste in music, and how the women went nuts over Frankie. Oh, Frankie.
Mike's
They loved him so.
Daily
Was he old blue eyes? Is that what he was?
Podcast.
Yes, he was all blue eyes. It's crazy when you see movies of him. It was like all you see is his big blue eyes.
Yeah, very
And
piercing.
and he's so thin, and the suits on him were just like they looked like huge massive tents on his body. But yeah, so we're about halfway through. I think it took us up to just about the 60s. And I'm sure they'll get into, well, they talked about him on From Here to Eternity, how he got that Academy Award for that.
I have yet to watch that movie. Isn't it terrible? It's one of those movies where I know it for that iconic beach frolicking love scene.
Yes.
That's the only thing I know about From Here to Eternity. I've never actually watched it.
I get that movie and South Pacific mixed up.
Oh, wait. So was it South Pacific or From Here to Eternity that had the beach frolicking scene? Or did they both have a beach frolicking scene?
They probably, I don't know. Call in and let us know. 336MM Daily. 3 plus 3 equals
Google.
6. MM is in Mike Matthews Daily isn't what this podcast has been the past couple of days. Yes. Yeah. Those are movies that were very important.
Were they?
Big.
Were they?
Not really. No, they were. I guess. We could go into a long discussion about something we don't know anything about, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Gesundheit. Gesundheit.
Excuse me.
It's sneezing time of year. The podcast picture today. She is off to the races, everyone.
Just like suddenly hit me.
Do you need to jump into the Kleenex room? Wow. Well.
No, I think that was it. Four's a charm.
Really?
Yeah, I feel it. It's been cleared out. That was a 4 series sneeze.
Wow. Oh, Basil would sometimes sneeze.
Oh, he had the sweetest sneeze.
He enjoyed your sneezes, I'm sure. I think I'll use this podcast picture of a bunch of those little black birds. Are they called coots? Coots?
Is that where the expression crazy as a coot comes from?
Maybe.
These little birds.
Coot bird.
Coot.
Yeah, that's what they are. A coot are medium-sized water birds that are members of the rail family. They constitute the genus Felica.
And
The name being the Latin term for coot. Coots have predominantly black plumage, and unlike many rails, they're usually easy to see, often swimming in the water. They are a close relative of the moorhen. Okay, there you go.
okay. I just learned about birds.
Yes, welcome to our Bird Talk podcast, where we talk about birds.
Aw,
So that will
sweet. There should be some bird sound effect there, love. Yeah, if I could whistle, I would do that.
You can't whistle?
I don't know how to whistle.
That sounds like a whistle. Was that not a whistle?
I don't think so.
Very nice.
Thank you.
You
love.
fooled me.
That's what I've been able to come up with after what, 42, 43 years.
That it's very, very nice.
That's the best.
So now the vaccine is being rolled out. for COVID-19. Because President Trump pressured Han, the main person there, FDA chief, main person,
The main person over there.
Stephen Hahn of the FDA. He said, "Get the darn vaccines out now." So, there we go. But now, apparently, there's Martha Raddatz was doing this morning. Hahn reiterated the health administration's commitment to conducting a comprehensive review prior to giving approval. So, he said that maybe it's not coming out as fast. How's it going over there at Cafe Anyway?
I think my eyes just glazed over a
Mine
bit.
too.
I'm actually looking at the clouds behind you.
Oh.
There's this one cloud that's moving across slowly.
Wow, that's so metaphorical.
It's mesmerizing.
Oh, wow.
It's a big dark cloud and it's just moving slowly across.
Yikes. That's not good. At the beginning of the week, please don't be one of those harbingers. Then Alan Dershowitz said that the Supreme Court's decision to toss the Texas election lawsuit signaled a message to President Donald Trump's camp that they can't count on the judiciary to invalidate the election results. He said, and Dershowitz was someone who defended Trump with the whole impeachment campaign, as I recall, didn't he? Oh yeah, he was pro-Trump for something. Well, anyway, he said that Trump's campaign needed a perfect storm in order to invalidate the election results, with courts, governors, and state election officials aiding his cause. I suspect on Monday we'll see the electors elect Joe Biden. Whether you like that or you don't like it, that's the reality that the Trump team has to face. Alan Dershowitz.
We'll see.
Yeah.
This comedy continues.
Yes.
This tragic comedy continues.
So why do people, when you call them and you leave a message on their phone or you send them a text message, why do they, and you tell them, you know, something like da-da-da, so you get the message out. They don't need to call you back because you've given them the message, and then they decide they have to call you back. And then you got to say the exact same thing you just said in the text message.
When does it end, right? No,
yeah.
It's a similar thing with any communication, whether it's text or an email. Like I recently got into this sort of back and forth with someone on email, and it's kind of like, okay, got it. And then they say thank you, and then I can respond and say thank you back, or do I don't know. Like, where does it end, right? Like, at what point do you say enough?
Enough. Maybe we have to be less polite, like the Canadians. No, wait, they're too polite.
They're very polite, aren't they? That's their whole shtick.
They say sorry a lot, I think. That's a good question. As we're outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley 10, it's cold out here and kind of rainy.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's like dark and gloomy.
Yeah.
Yeah, where do you end? Like, where do you stop responding?
Well, because I don't have a lot of time, I just say, you know, there seems to be a judgment call that I make in my head where I go, this has ended. I'm not going to continue forward with the, you know, I'm not going to waste their time with having to read another email. Here's one interesting thing I wanted to point out to you or bring up with you. That we're going to still have, and you kind of alluded to this yesterday, we're going to still have masks on like this time next year, possibly, even after we've been vaccinated. While the COVID-19 vaccine will alleviate much of the need for physical distancing and masking long term, it won't immediately end public health measures. Epidemiologists say, according to the Toronto Star. Thank you, Canadians, for that story.
Yeah, masks may be just kind of the new normal. It's the new accessory.
But have you had to pay for a mask yet? Oh, yeah, I guess you did, huh?
I've paid for a few, yeah, but I wasn't happy with them.
No. The ones you got? Oh, my gosh. Oh, wow. You got... Jarrell said hey to you on Twitter.
Jarrell! To me?
Yeah, because he liked when you cussed on my show yesterday.
Thank you, Jarrell.
He did his little lowercase x, uppercase D. When you put that next to each other, it looks like someone laughing hard. It's one of those. It was before emojis. Remember emoticons?
Yeah, those were the original emojis.
Oh,
yeah.
Emoticons were the best. So he did an emoticon for you.
Aww.
Yes.
Sending you back lots of love, Jarrell. Big hug.
You can follow me at Mike Talks. Does that make sense? Because I've said that on that radio show that I'm on. Follow me at Mike Talks. Do people realize that it's like TALKS, not TOX?
Oh, I thought you were asking, like, is that the right preposition? Like, at or on?
Well,
but you want to know...
Like, because my handle on Twitter is at Mike Talks.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mike Talks, sure. It could be, well, it's kind of like one of these drama exercises where you you kind of play with the phrasing of it.
Phrasing.
It could be Mike Talks. Mike Talks.
Oh. Mike Talks. It's a sentence.
Yeah.
You have a subject and a verb.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Which one do you want it to be?
Well, I grabbed that handle like years ago. Twitter was saying, okay, we're basically letting you choose. Oh, no, wait. Twitter was just starting to get really popular, and I had a really long Twitter handle. It was Mike asks what the heck or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's too much to type.
Like, who's going to remember that? And I hate doing the numbers thing. I'm Mike 15429121231 or whatever.
Who does that?
The people add numbers to their...
Really?
Because there's not enough handles for everyone.
Oh.
And then if you want...
It's like binary.
Like if I want at Mike Matthews... Yeah, it's like a computer. Inside a computer. Who's got Mike Matthews? The handle Mike Matthews on Twitter.
Mike Matthews is actually a pretty common name, huh?
Yeah. There's a hashtag for Mike Matthews, but that could mean anyone. Shoot.
There's only one Mike Matthews in my book, honey.
Oh, thank you. Like this one Mike Matthews goes by at local24 Mike. Like
Local
who's going to
24.
remember? What?
Oh, is that like a union? Local 24?
I don't know. Well, I guess I could type in Mike Matthews and see what happens with this new device. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So it's this guy in Houston, Texas. He looks fairly young. He's got 61 followers. Well, he's got a goofy goatee. And, I mean, I used to have a goofy goatee, so maybe that is a Mike Matthews type thing. He joined Twitter before me in December 2008, so that's how he got a hold of that handle. But dude, you need a background for your profile. All you've got, and all he's done is 173 tweets. That's it. For the common Twitter user that's been on for a long time, that's like nothing.
Maybe you could politely ask him that if he's not going to use that hashtag, can you use it?
Yeah, he'll want money for it.
I know. A cease and desist letter.
Check this out. His last tweet was over a year ago, August 1st of 2019. And then let the check expire and call them to reissue it. Boy, that's an exciting Twitter tweet. Wow. So that's Mike Matthews.
There you have it.
And then I used to be Matt Michaels on the radio. And actually, I had Matt Michaels as my handle when I first started on Twitter. But I haven't gone by Matt Michaels in a long time. And Matt Michaels, he joined in 2007. I guess shortly after I said, nope, I don't need it. And looks like he also doesn't have a background. Because the background, when I mean that, with Twitter, you've got, when you look at it on a desk profile webpage situation, twitter.com, instead of on your phone app thing, it's got a circle for your profile, and then behind the circle is this big square, like a banner space. I think Facebook does the same thing.
Yeah.
And neither one of the guys I just mentioned uses it. So Matt Michaels, at Matt Michaels, doesn't follow anyone and hasn't been followed by anyone. And has never tweeted. So wow, what a waste. That Matt Michaels. But I have not gone by Matt Michaels in over 10 years. So, and there's still people that know me as Matt Michaels. So, lovely lady friend, I've been talking this whole time. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just jamming out to the background music.
There's
the Jumba.
Oh, she's listening to a Wham song that's on a radio far, far away from her. Outside a cafe anyway. In fact, who is playing that radio? Oh, it's somebody listening to her Walkman really loud because she still owns a Walkman. Look who it is. Hello, Michael Matthew. Hello, lovely lady friend. It is Madame Rootabega. Oh, yes, I have a Walkman.
Oh, my goodness. I haven't seen you in such a long time.
Hey, isn't the cassette version of Wham's really big album, what was that one called that had Jitterbug?
You know me, I don't remember names.
I cannot
You are much...
Careless Whisper. Was it called that?
I just know that was one of their songs, but I don't know if
Careless Whisper.
Here, I'll look it up.
No, I got it right here. Make It Big. That's right. Jeez. How could I forget it was Make It Big? One of my earliest memories of Benicia, love, as you and I have been there many times. We went there a couple weeks ago on my birthday after we went to the place with all the dolphins and the seals.
Yes, and the penguins.
And the penguins. What?
And the tigers.
I should post a picture from that day.
And the wolves.
No, it's going to be coots. Anywho, years ago, my dad and I drove up to Benicia, and we stayed with some friends of my grandmother that lived in Benicia.
Was this by Lake? Is it Lake Herman?
Yes, they had a view of Lake Herman.
Yeah.
Which I still have never been to since then. This was back in the late 80s. So my dad and I drove up on that drive. My dad let me drive his stick shift. I had never driven a stick shift before, and he was giving me lessons, and it freaked me out. I'm driving on Highway 101. And we get to Benicia. The people we were staying with had a daughter around my age who was just learning to drive. And she said, hey, I'm going to take Mike to go with my friends and I. We're going to go to miniature golf. Putt-putt golf, whatever you call. What did you call miniature golf where you grew up?
Miniature golf.
Miniature golf?
Yeah.
Okay. Some places, I think in the South, they call it putt-putt. Putt-putt golf. Okay. But anyway, cafe anyway. So she says to me, after we get in her car, she goes, actually, we're going to go to San Francisco. And so that
was the cover story for the parents.
She picked up two of her friends, and we drove to San Francisco. It was so cool. And she blasted that album. The whole way there, the whole way back. I remember driving over the Oakland Bridge, the Bay Bridge, going to San Francisco. I think this was probably the second time I'd ever been to San Francisco, but very memorable. We went to Johnny Rockets. It had just opened over there in Fisherman's Wharf, rather. Fisherman's Village was in Oxnard, the other place I used to live. Channel Islands Harbor, they had a fisherman's village, as did Marina Del Rey, where they filmed much of, not Curb Your Enthusiasm, the other one, Mitchell Hurwitz's show, Arrested Development.
Oh.
You know, the banana stand?
Yeah.
That sits in Fisherman's Village in Marina Del Rey.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I think of when I'm listening to Wham! And any song from Make It Big. Make It Big had Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, Careless Whisper, I Don't Want Your Freedom. Oh, and somebody told me that everything she wants is everything she needs. And as I told you yesterday, it's George Michael and Andrew Ridgeley that make up Wham, that made up Wham. And people in England still remember Andrew Ridgeley. They still love Andrew Ridgeley. Like, he walks down the street and people go, "You're Andrew Ridgeley." Here, not so much.
I don't think anybody would even recognize him. Would you?
Now that I've seen that recent YouTube video he did, which is rather funny, where people recognized him. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day,
Madame Rootabega seems to be jamming out to that one.
You gave it away.
Is that what she's listening to?
Yes, I'm listening to that song. Oh,
okay.
Do you like that song? Yes.
Madame Rootabega, who are you giving your heart to this Christmas?
Wait, you didn't let me finish.
Oh.
Do you like singing Lovely Lady Friend? Yes. Do you like the song by George Michael called Praying for Time? No. Okay. Who are you giving your heart to then? I'm giving my heart to the guy Martin Freeman, who plays Frodo or one of the Hobbits. Oh.
Martin Freeman?
No, he played Bilbo Baggins.
Oh.
Whatever. I think he's married. Oh, sad note. It will always be sad that George Michael passed away. Did he pass away on Christmas?
I think so.
And then his sister passed away like 2 years later on the same.
Yeah, very sad.
It's so weird because it's such a joyous song. It's such a memorable song. It's sad, bittersweet song. And then that happened. So crazy.
Yeah.
But we think a lot about George Michael this time of year. And we think about people like Valentino, the parking attendant. Hello there, Mike. It's Valentino, the parking attendant.
Oh.
And there's a Bison Bentley. Do you know that? Mike, I can't find Christmas trees anywhere there. Christmas tree lots are all closed now because of the coronavirus day. Yeah, the coronavirus. Do you know that?
Valentino, you might have to cut one down yourself.
I'm gonna go into the forest day and chop down a tree. Cause I'm evil. I'm a tree murderer.
Yeah, tree murderer. Do you know that? Okay. Oh, the lead singer of Styx has a thick Chicago accent, I found out. Dennis DeYoung. Just thought that was great. So when you hear him singing, "Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me," that guy is actually from Chicago and has a thick Chicago accent, which I love that accent. And I love your Bronx accent.
Very salt of the earth. Thank you, love.
Well, everybody said something on today. That's true, though. I think if I had stock in a company that made fake Christmas trees, I would be really, really rich now, because all the Christmas tree lots, at least around Podcastro Valleyton, closed early this year because of Gavin Newsom hates Christmas.
That's right.
He hates coronavirus more, but yeah. I don't think he's going to get reelected.
Gavin.
That's
okay. He'll be fine. I have a feeling he's gonna probably run for Senate, or who knows, he might even run for president one of these days. Mm-hmm. That seems to be his trajectory.
Someone we saw this evening said that he will not get the coronavirus vaccine. And he said, you know what? And people should just leave me alone with my decision. I'm not hurting anybody by not taking the vaccine.
As long as he doesn't get sick.
As long as he doesn't get sick, exactly. But his reasoning is if everybody else gets the vaccine, then they're not going to care anyway because they'll be protected by it. Well, I'm like, don't you want to be protected too? No, I don't want to be killed by the awful vaccine that is being rushed through, and there's really, maybe it has imperfections in it that will kill me. Versus the coronavirus that may kill me too. You're derned if you do and derned if you don't. Isn't that true, Marge?
Scylla and Charybdis, stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I want to be your Bronx friend. Let's talk. What happened to you today as we talk on the stoop? Isn't that what they have?
On the stoop, yes. They not where. Well, yes. Where I grew up, yeah, they did have stoops. My mom never let me hang out on the stoop because the people that did hang out on the stoop usually were conducting a certain kind of business.
With it. Oh.
And so, my mom.
Is that called stooping? Is that where we get that verb? No. I didn't mean to stoop to that level.
Yeah. My mom was, she was a little mama bear.
Her Puerto Rican mama bear came out.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
Get off that stoop.
It was more like a very stern, te dije que no. And the chancla.
Oh, she chucked the chancla?
The chancla was... Yeah, I was scared of the chancla.
Oh, yeah. That comes at you so fast.
Like a boomerang.
Look at that.
Yes.
So, if you had an Australian Puerto Rican mom, you'd be in big trouble.
This is true.
She'd be, all right.
That chancla could be a deadly weapon.
Get off that stoop. What's the drink you want to make from Puerto Rico?
Oh, coquito.
Coquito.
Yes.
Everybody's invited to cafe anyway to have some coquito.
Oh my gosh, the next time we get Brewmaster, I'll have to share some with him.
Yes. He was on the last show, so he's not on today's show.
Yeah, he gave me some of that eggnog root beer.
How was it?
It was good.
Next show, it's going to be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the engineer. All right, I hope everyone keeps their head. They're calm. They're cool.
Yes.
Cool-headedness this week. Come on. The craziness. It needs to stop. Especially with the rain. I don't like the rain and the people getting wacko and kooky. And stupid.
Something about the rain, huh?
Yeah.
Would
you like to wrap this all up in a tiny little bow with a nice little comment of some sort or thought or something? I don't know. Maybe a quote from George Michael. There are things that you guess. There are things that you know. There are people that you don't know.
Well, there you go. I don't like being put on the spot because I go totally blank. I'm sure I'll come up with something after we end the podcast.
Okay, and the podcast ends right
Be well.
now. Okay, did you come up with something?
Be well.
I know, but the podcast ended, so did you?
Oh, no, I didn't.
All right. Well, everyone else can chime in. 336MM Daily. 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews. Daily as in what this podcast is. Please do me a favor and follow at Matt Michaels, so at least he'll have one follower. Follow him, and then maybe he'll go, oh, wait a minute, I forgot about this. Oh.
Love, I would follow you, but I don't have a Twitter account.
That's good. You shouldn't. No, you should. I don't know. So, 4 years ago, Trump wins the election, partly due to all the information things that were posted on Twitter. And then and there was misinformation, and there was Russians involved and stuff. But then this time, Twitter said, no, we're not going to post those things. And now Trump hates Twitter. Yet he's still posting on it, apparently, we heard earlier in the podcast. So Twitter just can't win for losing. Were you going to read a comment?
I do remember a
You're going to...
quote.
A quote?
That I heard recently by the late, great Carrie Fisher.
Okay, let's end with that.
Take your broken heart and make it into art.
That's it?
That's it. It was this podcast. I have to give it some context. I was listening to this podcast where the person was interviewing the authors of this new book called Burnout. And the authors were talking about some tips for how to complete the stress cycle. And one of them is the power of creative expression and just creativity. It doesn't matter what you do. You know, podcasting, singing, knitting, painting, whatever it is, as long as it involves imagination, it's the act of creation that actually helps to reconfigure, process whatever ickiness it is that you're dealing with. That it helps to give it more manageable shape.
I see.
Yeah, and they quoted Carrie Fisher.
Saying art.
Take your broken heart and make it into art. It's that idea of taking something that is unpleasant and turning it into gold.
I remember a quote from Steven Tyler, the lead singer of Aerosmith, on VH1. He was talking about songwriting, and he says, songwriting is awesome because you can, like, someone can upset you, and then you can write a song about him and go, I'll fix you with my song lyrics. I don't know exactly where he...
Aha!
I've shown you. Ha-ha! With my lyrics. There you go.
That's, yeah.
Or maybe you rap.
Whatever it is.
Or you dance.
You do, yeah.
Or you podcast.
Or you garden, you make hummingbird feeders.
Chop down trees.
Chop down trees.
Wait a minute, that's not really, you're not creating there.
Yeah.
Unless you're making a house out of the trees.
Maybe, yeah.
A house for homeless people.
You're
Maybe.
using the sap.
That's right, the amazing sap. Sap. Oh, that's some cool stuff.
Yes.
All right, well, take your sap and glue on some feathers and fly, my friend.
There you go.
And we'll talk to you again soon. And have a great week. I hope it's a good one. Thank you, lovely lady friend.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!